Abena Larbi-Odam, and the title of my persuasive speech today is Parents, Kids, and Guns in America. Accountability of parents to the mass shooting of their kids on other kids will help to promote parental supervision and responsible adults. 5 years ago, I was on my way to work when my best friend called me, screaming at the top of her voice and crying, saying that her son's school is on lockdown because one of the 8th graders brought a gun to school. This student was in the same school bus with my friend's son and had the gun in his backpack, and he apparently told one of the students that he got it from his dad's closet. He said he was going to shoot one particular girl because she refused to go out with him. Imagine if that girl was your daughter. Today, I would like to talk to you about, first, gun violence posing a serious threat to our children. Second, the need to add one more strategy to keep guns out of the reach of children and youth. Finally, the urgency of calling your state representative to pass gun laws to hold parents accountable. A gun violence poses a serious threat in the United States. According to the National Association of the School of Psychology's Journal, in 2010, there were 2,711 infant, child, and teen firearm deaths. On average, there were 7 such fatalities daily and 52 weekly. Between 1981 and 2010, 112,375 infant, children, and teens were killed by firearms. This is 25,000 more deaths than the number of soldiers killed in Iraq, Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan all combined. Of the 1,982 youth murdered in 2010, ages 10 to 19, 84% were killed by firearms. Of the 1,659 teens who committed suicide, ages 15 to 19, 40% was by firearms. The Yale School of Medicine reported that 7,391 kids and teens under age 20 were hospitalized in 2009. The CDC reported that 98 kids under age 18 died of accidental shootings in 2010. I'm sure that this statistical data is very surprising to you as much as it is to me, and therefore there's the need to try one very important way to reduce firearms getting into the hands of our kids. One more strategy to keep guns out of the reach of our children. The National Institute of Mental Health reported that the brain of a teen doesn't look like that of an adult until the early 20s. This same research revealed that the parts of the brain responsible for controlling impulses and planning ahead, the hallmark of adult behavior, are among the last to mature in a teen. The parts of the brain in teens involved in keeping emotional impulsive responses in check are still reaching maturity. This changing balance is why the youth have the tendency to act on impulse without regard for risk. You realize that children and teens do not have the mental capability to be held accountable alone for their actions because their brains are not well developed, and thus they need to do something about it. They need to call your state representative to pass gun laws that holds parents accountable. Massachusetts is the only state that has a law requiring gun owners to lock up their firearms. According to the National Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, there are only 14 states in America that hold adults criminally liable if they fail to store guns safely, enabling children to access them. A significant percentage of adults who have minor children living in their homes report that their firearms are not safely stored. So, due to these factors, we need more states to hold parents accountable in their negligence in allowing their immature teens to gain access to firearms. Today, I discussed gun violence posing threat to our children and teens. Second, I discussed a much-needed strategy of holding parents accountable for their children's actions when it comes to firearms. Finally, I discussed the need to call in your state representative to pass gun laws that give some of the responsibility to parents if they neglect to keep their guns safely away from teens. It is an unfortunate situation when you hear there has been a shooting or suicide and it is committed by a teen. Also, it is sad that most parents are negligent and expose their children to guns in their homes when science tells us that at that age, the part of the brain that controls impulses is not fully developed. That it is incumbent upon us to be held accountable by state law if we put other people's children in danger from our irresponsible kids.